listening to Community Forum on KCCC 930 AM, sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889. Thank you for listening to Community Forum. My name is Johnny Chandler. I'm the owner of KCCC 930 AM and the host of Community Forum. And with me today is a good friend of mine as well, right? Shawna Hicks. Shawna Hicks, I believe, is a Carlsbad local. She's going to tell us all about herself here in a minute, but she's also has a company with a new address, a new location called Aligned Energy Healing. So let's welcome Shawna to the show. Shawna, how are you?
I am really good. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, so I've known you for quite a few years now,
yes.
Which is great. And I know that you're into all this stuff that you're going to tell us about. And I'm excited for you as a friend to make this like a business with an office and all that type of stuff like that. But I've never been 100% sold on what you're selling. So you're going to sell me today just as much as you are all our listeners. So to get started, just as a reminder, this is Shawna Hicks. Shawna Hicks has a company called Aligned Energy Healing. And so, Shawna, to start, why don't you just tell us who you are? Are you Carlsbad born and raised? Let everybody that's listening know who you are and what you're about when it comes to the community.
I'm Shawna Hicks, of course, and I am born and raised in Carlsbad, been here all my life. I am excited to bring my practice physically to Carlsbad. I've been doing it online for a little while, since about 2021. So, yeah, I'm super excited.
Did COVID have any inspiration for you starting this business at all?
It did. COVID had a little bit of inspiration of me going online. I've always wanted to do physical, but my passion behind my practice is my own healing experience.
Okay. So Carlsbad High School graduate?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. That's great. Did you marry a local guy?
I did.
All right. How many kids do you have?
I have 3 children and 4 grandchildren.
All right. And are they all in Carlsbad as well?
They are.
All right, man. You guys are just growing roots in this community, huh?
That's right.
Generations and generations of Hicks are going to be in Carlsbad.
That's right.
Right. That's good. That's wonderful. I know that you're real passionate about this community, as all of us and so many other people, But let's get into how you got into Aligned Energy Healing to begin with. Now, you may have started your online business in 2021, but it's not like you were just discovered energy healing in 2021 and started a business. So there's a backstory to why you're so passionate about Aligned Energy Healing. So first of all, you need to explain to everybody what Aligned Energy Healing is and then get into the passion behind it.
Okay, yeah, sure. So Aligned Energy Healing is energy work, right? So I do Reiki. I'm a Reiki practitioner.
Okay. All right, so we're going to slow down for a second. What is Reiki?
Okay, so Reiki is a form of energy work. It's basically, Reiki means universal life energy. So I basically have trained and in-tuned my energy to interact with people's biofield, which is science, right? We have an energetic field around our body. And it can help with stress, anxiety. It can help with pain relief, relaxation, blood flow, circulation. There's a lot of things that it can help with. And it's not woo-woo.
Okay.
Right? It's not woo-woo.
What do you mean by woo-woo?
I mean New Age, right?
Okay.
It's ancient. Actually, it's ancient and healing modality. And major medical facilities like Johns Hopkins and the Mayo Clinic are incorporating Reiki into their healing programs.
Okay, so when it comes to, I imagine that if you're think of Johns Hopkins, think of the Mayo Clinic, let's say you're battling cancer, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to be stressful, right? And you've always heard those stories about this person survived because they had the will to survive. They had the energy to survive, right? They wanted to survive, right? So you're saying Reiki, and how do you spell Reiki, first of all?
It's R-E-I-K-I.
Okay, R-E-I-K-I, Reiki Energy Healing. So this type of energy healing really can calm your soul, if you will. Am I getting that correct?
Yeah, there's a lot to it. It's emotional, right? Because emotions are energy in motion. So so think of electricity, right? We want electricity energy to flow freely. Mm-hmm. So if you're stuck, if you have some stuck energy, some stuck emotions, it'll stop the flow of energy through your body.
So is that like meditating?
Yes, that is part of meditating. I do deep mind meditations along in my practice, which is working with your subconscious mind.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the subconscious minds can go crazy. We all know that.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
Yeah, be careful what you tell yourself, right?
Yeah.
For sure. So that I understand 100%. And then you also do some cognitive behavioral techniques.
Right. So basically the same, working with the mind again, right? Because our minds are powerful. Just being aware of your negative thought patterns and learning how to retrain your brain, right? So I started 16 years ago, wanting to not be controlled by every negative thought that I had.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I prayed and I asked, and God led me to Scripture, Romans, right? Do not conform to the ways of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Okay.
And so that was my journey, and that's where I started. And
Wow. So 16 years ago. So, you decided, you prayed, and you decided that that's the route you want to take. How do you get started now? You just jump on Google?
yeah, I just, started researching things. I was led a lot, right? I was led a lot intuitively. And believe me, it is not where I thought it was going to go. I had no idea that we were going to go to energy work and we were going to go to things like that. But I know how powerful it is because I've used it. I've done it.
Right. And you seem like a very centered person as well, right? You don't seem to let a lot of things stress you out that much, which I think is maybe that part of your work as well.
It is. Yeah. I've learned tools, right? I've learned tools because I was tired of being tossed back and forth by my own emotions.
Right.
Right. And by things that are happening outside of my control. And so again, I prayed, and I know that, in Scripture, like Jesus had peace in the storm. And so that's what I said, let me have peace in the storm.
Okay.
And
so is there a real religious aspect to Reiki and what you're doing? Or did you just happen to have your religion kind of inspire you to do this?
Yeah, I have my religion to inspire me to do this. Now, as far as religious, I'm not really religious. I used to be, but I'm more spiritual. I know that sounds like so cliche, but I believe in God, source creator, right?
Right.
And so I'm very grateful for my foundation, but yeah, it definitely inspired me.
Okay. And so you've been working for 16 years on yourself with these methods and these trainings. So you've got some experience behind you.
Yeah.
And so what inspired you to try to bring that to other people?
Because I just seen how it transformed my life, literally, and I know I can help other people do. I'm really good at it, not to be conceited, but I've practiced and I've trained. Like as Scripture also says, you train your senses, and that's what I've done. And and a lot of my work is intuitive, right? I use my intuition to also see what's best for the clients, but I'm very passionate about it because I know it works.
Yeah, and I did not, before I invited you onto the show, I did not ask you this, so I don't know if you need certain equipment or not, but are you going to be able, towards the end of this, give us a little sample or something for the listeners? Like, that's really impromptu, just...
Yeah, what, do you want me to do some Reiki on you?
What? You don't have to do you have to have certain noises or something to do Reiki?
No.
Okay,
no.
Yeah, so... But like a super mini session, because we don't have a ton amount of time.
Sure, yeah. I do examples on people all the time to show what I can do.
Yeah, no, I think that would be great, right? And then obviously try to make it to where the listeners on the radio station know what we're doing as well.
Right.
Because there's a lot of talking, I'm sure, a little bit. I don't know.
There's a little bit of talking, but it is personal, so I'll just do a little bit. Actually, I'm going to do it on you.
Yeah, because we know each other a little bit, so you have a little bit of personal knowledge about me.
I do. And yeah, we'll just talk through it, and then you can also say what you're feeling as I'm doing the work.
All right. So I do have a little skeptical. I've not done a Reiki healing or training before at all in any form. So I'll definitely be very honest about what feelings I have. But let's get to the point a little bit as to why I invited you on the show or why you're on the show, right? So you said in 2021 you started doing a lot of this online.
Yeah.
Right. So, but now you have an actual physical office here in Carlsbad?
I do. I'm super excited.
All right. Tell us all about that.
Yeah. So I'm located at 213 South Canyon Street, next to the beautiful Daniel Salon.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful space. And I feel like it's going to be a really good, safe space for people to come and share and for us to do a great healing journey. Okay.
So are most of these healing journeys a one-on-one thing, or the multiple people, or how do you prefer to have it done?
Yeah, it is a very personal experience. So it is one-on-one and private.
Okay.
Although I am looking up to, I do sound healing as well. I haven't said that, but I'm looking into doing group things as well, group meditations as well.
Well, we record here at Southeast Mexico College. We have a great partnership the radio station does with the local community college. And I know you've done a couple classes here before, haven't you?
I have.
You've done a sound healing class here before?
I have,
right.
And I'll be doing it in the summer again.
Okay, great. Yeah, so go to senmc.edu, community education, look up that community education summer calendar, and definitely sign up for one of Shawna's sound healing classes. Yeah. I do so is that the sound healing is where, maybe this is cliche, right? But where you got the bowl and you're moving the wood around the bowl. It's like making the noises and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, tell me what or why you believe in the power of sound healing.
Well, I mean, right, it's all about frequency, vibration, and energy, right? And so, I mean, you can see every day if you listen to music.
Right.
It can help you, your mood or bring you down or up.
Right.
Right? So it's very powerful, and, we just know that. And so there's certain frequencies, like we have energy centers. So if you can match those frequencies with the sound, right, you can heal certain things in your body.
So you can change somebody's frequency based on the sound as well? Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I mean, that's why, the music industry, essentially, if there wasn't love, there'd be no music industry, right? Because it's all about love or heartbreak, right? And so obviously music can elicit some pretty strong emotions, right?
Yeah, it absolutely
So you're
can.
working on that sound to like calm everything and to center yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. So you have a new office. It's on, what's the address on South Canyon?
213.
213 South Canyon. It's called Aligned Energy Healing. So if somebody wanted, are you open all the time by appointment? How does this work?
Yeah, you have to make an appointment.
Okay. Now, how are people going to do that?
So you can find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Aligned Energy Healing.
Okay.
And you can also give me a call.
Okay. Well, what's that number?
That's 575-706-4305.
706-4305.
Yeah, and we can do a 15-minute free consultation to see if I'm the person that you want to work with or if it sounds right.
Okay. How many aligned energy healers are in the community?
I didn't think very many, but I've met a couple recently since I started. So I'm super excited about that because I think it's great, right? So I'm excited to meet more people.
Like, how many different, so does the energy healing like improve if you have multiple energy healers in the room together? Can you like channel each other like an energy healing circle?
Yeah, you absolutely can. And I've done group sessions in Colorado with a good friend of mine. We've done group healings there, and the group, right? You feed off of each other's energy,
right,
and it can be very powerful.
Okay, can that be? Have you ever met an energy healer where it wasn't powerful, where it had the opposite effect, where you guys just clashed?
I never have, but that's because I'm very careful about who I work with.
All right, yeah. So that 15-minute you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's to see if I'm the right fit for you or if you're the right fit for the modalities that I.
Okay. All right. So let's go over what you offer again, and then pricing model. Right? Okay. I mean, you have a preset prices?
I do.
Okay, well, let's talk about, so if I wanted to do, let's get into it. I wanted to do some Reiki healing, right?
Okay.
What would my first session of Reiki healing look like, paid?
So your first session is $70 for 60 minutes.
Okay.
Now, I am doing 10% off of your first session.
Okay.
So what's that, like 63
Yep,
or something?
because it would be $7 off, right?
Right. So you would come to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you'd make an appointment, and we'd meet at the space, and we would sit down and have a consultation.
Got it.
I have some forms to fill out, right? Because also confidentiality is very important to me.
Right. It's not technically a medical procedure, but do you treat it that way when it comes to confidentiality?
I do. I absolutely do. Nothing that is said or happens in the session will be ever told anywhere else.
Okay.
It's
not
very
even
private.
Not even to your husband at home?
Not even to my husband at home.
Right.
No, it's very private. Like, he probably wouldn't understand it anyway
Yeah.
if I told him.
Is he not into any of this?
No, I mean, he does. He understands what I do because I've done Reiki on him to take away some pain and stuff.
Right.
So, but as far as like understanding exactly, probably not.
Okay. So is Reiki healing past trauma? It can be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's also too where my deep mind meditation comes in when we work with the subconscious mind.
All right. So Reiki, you're looking at $70 for an hour, but you're offering 10% off, so it's like $63 for an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that. Okay, that was great. Now I need a deep mind meditation, right? That's what I'm going to go for. And can I do a deep mind meditation in 1 hour?
Well, yeah, you can. I'll just add it. So it's an add-on kind of like type thing because we're going to do it all together. So it's like $30 to do. So it would be $100 for that session, right?
Okay.
So what I would do is we would talk. We always talk first. So there's a 30-minute session where we just talk. Like
right.
You can, and we discuss what's coming up for you, the emotions or whatever. And then you'll get on the table and I will do the energy work to help clear those emotions out. and then we'll work with your subconscious mind to reprogram things. So like, let's say you come in and you're really anxious, right? So we'll talk about your anxiety, and then you'll get on my table. I will clear that energetic ickiness, right? And also do deep mind meditation where we say, the next time you feel anxious, you take a deep breath and, you will feel this peace where you're at right now. Kind of things like that. Yeah.
Okay. So how much time should I set aside for my first appointment with you then in general?
So in general, it usually takes an hour, or longer. I do like to give myself a little leeway to prepare for the next person, right? Because I got to clear my energy and clear the space again. But yeah, I would give it an hour, 15 or so.
Okay.
Because
you got the initial. So the first visit is going to be a little bit longer than the others because you have the initial consultation of getting to know the individual, right?
Yeah, but every time you come in, we'll do a little bit of talking.
So are you a psychic?
I don't call myself a psychic, but I do use my intuition, right?
Okay.
I do use God.
Right.
I've trained my senses, and I do use that to help know what you need the most.
Okay. All right. So percentage of women to men, how many men do you see versus women when it comes to this?
Not very many men.
Okay.
Yeah,
now,
not very many men.
So let's talk about that for a second then, right? It's like at some point in history, like you wouldn't catch a man ever at a nail salon, right? But now if I like to get my toes done, by the way, I'm definitely going to a nail salon, right? I mean, I'm not getting painted or anything, but like, why would you cut your own toenails when you can have that experience of somebody massaging your feet and cutting them and all that stuff, right? So I used to go and there was never a dude in there ever, right? But now you'll run into 2 or 3 guys doing it. So it's one of those things that takes time.
Yeah,
right?
It does.
So tell me why you think there's a barrier for men to go in and do these type of healing treatments. Because, I mean, let's not pretend that men probably aren't the most stressed out, anxious dudes floating around anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, I think because it's emotional.
Right, okay.
Right, it's emotional. And I think women are better sometimes with their emotions.
Oh, so you're saying women are emotional?
I'm saying...
Oh, yeah. Oh, you heard that here, folks. She admitted that women are emotional.
I'm saying women are better at understanding their emotions.
Oh, okay. All right, because I thought you just said women were emotional. And I was like, and I think that all the men listening might agree.
I don't think that emotional is bad. So, it's energy and motion. So...
What's the likelihood of somebody crying after their first visit?
Oh, absolutely. If you come to me, more than likely you're going to cry.
Really? Do you cry too with them sometimes?
No, I don't cry. No. I don't cry because I have to hold space for you.
Oh, okay.
Right?
All right.
So I have to hold space for you.
All right.
So more than likely, I always joke that I make people cry because more than likely you're going to cry.
Right. So you're getting into some pretty deep stuff typically. Hypothetically.
Yeah, healing is not easy sometimes.
Right. Now, can you heal in just one visit, or do you have a suggestion? Is from your experience, like, I mean, look, any therapist, you're not a therapist, right? I mean, or would you consider yourself a therapist?
Well, I don't like to use that word, but I am, I am certified in counseling and cognitive behavioral therapy. But yeah. What was the question?
Well, are you a therapist?
Well, I mean, I like to say that I use therapy techniques.
So yeah, so my point of that is that you're certified in everything that you're doing, right?
Yes.
All the Reiki, the deep mind meditations, the cognitive behavioral techniques, and there was one more that you mentioned, sound healing.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
But like, for example, some businesses will do things to try to get you to come back over and over and over and over again. So the point of my question is from your experience, right? Can you do this one time only and truly get the benefits of it, or do you suggest a longer term plan? You know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So you absolutely can get benefits from a one-time session, right? As with anything, though, if you come back more, you get, more. We can talk more. But my goal is to empower you to not come see me. My goal is to give you tools, like I learned tools, so that you can, do it yourself. And it is a team effort, right? So I am not going to heal you. I'm just the facilitator, right? So you've got to do your part as well. So I'm just facilitating your body's natural ability to heal.
Okay. All right. 213 South Canyon?
213.
213 South Canyon. Go ahead and give the phone number again.
575-706-4305.
That's Aligned Energy Healing, ALIGNED, Energy Healing on Facebook or Instagram.
Yep.
Right? There's no other. That's amazing that name was actually available on social media, considering how crowded social media is.
I know.
So that's awesome. That means you are truly doing something unique and in a bit of a unique field if it hasn't already been taken to social media. So that's Aligned Energy Healing on Facebook or Instagram. Why don't you talk a little bit about your services again? Give me a line or two as to why you think people could be benefited by visiting you, and then I want you to try a little Reiki on me.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so again, my services, I can do Reiki, right, which is just helping you clear some of that icky energy. It helps stress, anxiety, deep mind meditations, cognitive therapy, which helps you retrain your negative thoughts. And it's all holistic, right? It all works together. So that's again $70 and 10% off your first session.
All right, 10% off the first session, and you're open for business now, right?
I am.
The office
Absolutely.
is set up and everything.
It's set up, ready to go.
That's amazing. I'm very, very proud of you. Somebody that I've tried to challenge you a little bit during the interview, but not too much, right? But I've known you for years, so I'm really proud of you, right? I know my wife and I are very proud of you as well. Mm-hmm. I think the stuff that you're doing here at the college in general for everybody is really awesome, and it'd be a really great way if somebody's a little skeptical to come to the first like sound healing or something here at the college and really get a great idea as to just what it might be about and to get to know you as well, right? Because that's like a group session, so you're not really channeling in on one person in general, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't have much more for you, but if you have some idea, I would probably never do this, but since you've decided to come on the show, we can try a little bit of Reiki.
Okay,
healing.
we will. Let's do it, and then we'll just talk through. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clear a little bit of my energy. I'm going to rub my hands together.
Okay.
Right, and then I'm going to use symbols, Reiki symbols.
Okay.
On my hands.
All right.
Just increases the energy flow, and then I'm just going to move my hands around you.
Okay.
Not touching, just on the outside, and then you can tell me what you feel.
Right. Should I? Yeah. If you have to come over to me and be away from the microphone or whatever, that's fine. We can share this one. Is there a certain way that I should be sitting or anything like that, or?
No, you're fine. Just the way. Just sit, just like that.
Just
where you are.
So just like that means I'm sitting just normally.
Yeah.
like a human being, right? Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. So you want me to kind of describe what's happening, or do you want to describe it at the same time? All right. So she's rubbing her hands together. She's going to do some Reiki symbols, which I don't know what those are, but. Okay. Yeah. I get it. Right. She's doing like rubbing the hands. It's just, you just don't get it for free, folks. You got to go visit her too. You know what I mean? But all right. So she's.
I'm putting my hands above your head.
Okay. All right. She's doing it around, like putting her arms around me. She's not touching me, but I can definitely feel something, right? Like almost like butterflies in your stomach type situation almost. Yeah, some tingling. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I can definitely feel that. And I can't see her. She's standing behind me, which I find is very interesting. And it's kind of difficult to try to explain this.
Yeah, it's very much an experience.
It's an experience, like an in-person experience. Okay, so speak loudest for us since you're not in front of the microphone, but what's the point of going around and what you're doing now?
Okay, so I'm clearing out some energy that is stuck, so I'm helping your energy flow. I'm also working on your heart.
All right.
Right, so we're just going to open that up a little bit, right, because we have those energy centers.
Right.
Some people call them chakras, your energy centers, and so that's what I'm doing.
I have a very healthy heart, by the way.
You do it, it's emotional, not...
Oh, okay. All right, not physical, it's an emotional. All right, right. Well, I was feeling the tingling earlier when you were doing it, and then I cracked a joke about the heart, so I think I might have lost my center. But I will tell you that I do feel like some tingling a little bit still, like
a little relaxed,
like a little bit relaxed, almost like a kind of a chill. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Now I'm just going to close you back.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like a lot of hand movements on Shawna's part doing this. There's a little bit of breathing, the Reiki symbols. Yeah.
Shamanic too.
Shamanic? Oh, yeah, like a shaman?
No, I just studied a little bit of it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so I actually felt like that was very interesting. I did feel like for the first time it felt a little odd, right? But and I wish we were able to see it. We didn't have a video or anything of that. But I do feel like I did feel a little something. I did feel a little bit of tingling, right? And I think that if I wasn't focused on trying to make sure that we were able to let people on the radio kind of know what was happening, I probably would have been able to get into it a little bit more, right? But so now that you're back in front of the microphone, explain like just a little bit, like go over the steps as to what you did and to what the point of all of that was.
Okay, so basically I just, I use the Reiki symbols to, let's say power, the energy, and I connected with your energy field, and I cleared out some stuck energy, right? I worked on the top of your head, right? So allowing that energy to flow all the way through.
Okay.
Okay. And then like I said, we just cleared out, like, just basically that's what I was doing is basically just say like, like when you brush your shoulder like that when you're brushing off, like, like that. So basically that's what I was doing is clearing that because that's our biofield. Okay. And then I did work on your heart a little bit, just opening up and to help heal some of those emotions. Right. Again, it's personal, so we're not gonna like say everything, but yeah.
So, what could you feel by doing that? Could you? Or it's like because that was really just a little tiny sample, and we got the radio station involved. But like, can you like when you really get into it, you can actually feel what's going on with the people?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have had clients come to me, and as I'm doing their Reiki, like I'll say, like, "Are you having problems with this?" And they'll be like, "Yeah." Are you having problems here? Like, I'll keep coming back to a certain area until, right? So wherever I'm led, I'll keep coming. And like, I'll have patients who like, I keep coming back here, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, well I've had this going on or this," So I can intuitively like pick up some things and kind of help that energy flow better.
So for your first visit, do you think you need to go in maybe being okay, feeling a little ridiculous at first?
Yeah, I mean, you can.
This is a very male-centric point of view here too, right?
Right, yeah.
So the idea of like you moving your hands around me, my energy field, and like brushing my energy away, which I could see a little bit, you know what I mean? Like that stuff was like, at first, like anybody because we're in the library, right? Anybody that's watching us that has no idea what we're doing is probably like, what is happening in that room, right? Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? So but there's all kinds of things in life where you can feel ridiculous until you get comfortable with it too. Yeah,
and it's not like a massage or anything. Like, you're fully clothed. You just take your shoes off, right? Real comfortable. A peaceful setting with the music in the background. So it's more of relaxation. I think that at first you might feel a little uncomfortable, but once I get in there and we start relaxing you're going to love it. People love it.
Right. And open mind as well, which would be great. And then it actually just sounds fun too, a little bit, right? Yeah. So have you ever treated a male before?
I have online with distance Reiki, and then I do like my family members.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to book an appointment with you here pretty soon. I'll come in and we'll get that done. Yeah. And then we'll come back on the show. Okay. And we'll kind of go over what I was feeling and what you were doing to continue to let people know what you're doing. Sure. And then I think it would be really great if we should probably record a sound bath session as well. I think that would be a great show for people to get into. Yeah. And let's make Shawna Hicks the KCCC 9:30 a.m. energy healer.
I love it.
Right? I think that would be great. I love it. I'd be really happy to do that. So Shawna Hicks, Aligned Energy Healing. She is now at a new location, 213 South Canyon Street, right next to Daniel's Salon. We all know what it looks like downtown. It's a very beautiful building. Yeah. You're right next to that. She does Reiki, deep mind meditations, cognitive behavioral techniques, as well as sound bath healing. Yeah. Right. I had a cool little feeling there when you were doing that, and that was just for a couple minutes. Yeah. Right. So I thought that was pretty neat. Aligned Energy Healing on Facebook or on Instagram. Go ahead and give your number one more time, please.
575-706-4305.
I definitely think you should check her out because even that couple of minutes of that was pretty cool. Yeah. And then we'll get on and we'll do the full thing and we'll report back. And Shawna Hicks, Aligned Energy Healing, also the KCCC 9:30 a.m. Energy Healer. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're listening to Community Forum on KCCC 9:30 a.m., sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889.